Despite its fast economic growth, women in India are vulnerable and often regarded as disposable commodities who can be abused at will, who can be burned for money and left to die, whose education is not a family priority, and given a chance, wouldn't be allowed a birth. The Constitution of India says women are equal to men. Our laws give them rights over property. But is it really so? Government has wide-ranging progressive policies to provide land to the landless, but none targets women, especially the single women. Though women can inherit land as per law, the existing patriarchal setup does not allow that. Therefore, widows, divorcees, deserted, differently abled and unmarried above 30 years of age become particularly vulnerable and are left at the mercy of the family members. Double jeopardy. Thrown out by husband's family and harassed by brothers. To address the plight of such women's access to land, the district administration of Ganjam, a district in the eastern province of Odisha in India, with technical support from Landesa, has established a women's support center at the tehsil level to introduce an effective enumeration system to identify and ensure land to single women.
So we thought of a program where women's access to tehsil services including land as well as certificates and other welfare program increases. And we decided to set up women's support centers in Ganjam's district in all the tehsils. One of the lady officer has been appointed so that the communication between the women who approach tehsil office is better and they are able to discuss their issues and problems which they are facing.
Anganwadi workers were trained to identify such single women. In less than 4 months, these Anganwadi workers have identified close to 57,000 such vulnerable women in 1,238 villages, who are likely to receive both land and other government social security benefits.
जो महिला माने जगह पाइबा पई योग्य विवेचित हेबे आमे सेमान को समस्त को चिन्हट करी जगह दवा पई व्यवस्था करछु.
Based on the information collected by the Anganwadi workers, revenue inspectors have started verifying claims in the field. While claim verification is going on in about 100 villages, initial statistics show that about 25% of such single women may be eligible to get land. This is Sasmita Gowda. A homeless destitute somehow manages a shelter in her father's house. With almost nothing to fall back, Sasmita works hard to give education to her polio-affected daughter. The center has found her eligible to receive a homestead plot. Ulli Gowda, a 40-year-old unmarried woman, thrown out by her brother, survives in a small cowshed. Not sure of her next meal, Ulli struggles to survive, but hopeful that one day government would reach her. Pramila Behera, a young widow living with HIV, deserted and disowned by her in-laws, leads a life of abject poverty, begs for a shelter, and somehow manages to survive with her abandoned sister and widowed mother. With nothing going in her way, she smiles with hope of getting a piece of land. Women's Support Center is a progressive move by government to facilitate the single women who have remained unreached and invisible. Though the single women have been suffering for years, revenue officials have not been able to identify them as landless.
ये जो कार्यक्रम चली छी या द्वारा जो असहाय महिला माने आइडेंटिफाई न होई कि रही जाउछले से माने कोनोसी सुविधा सरकारी सुविधा पाइबार वंचित होतले एमानको सुंदर भाबरे आइडेंटिफाई कराउची.
A project where land administration can be taken closer to the women, and especially to the women who are in distress.
With the Anganwadi workers shouldering the responsibility of enumeration with the support of women nodal officers, the revenue officials are now able to reach out to these vulnerable single women. In order that this unique innovation in Ganjam replicates across the state and the country, government may consider introducing a separate and exclusive program for land to the single women to ensure that widows, deserted and abandoned women, differently abled and unmarried women over 30 years of age, independent of their natal and in-laws family, are identified as separate families to be eligible to get land. Women support centers may be established in all the tehsils of the state to reach out to more and more of such invisible single women. With current statistics, such scaling is expected to benefit 500,000 single women. Without property rights, women would continue to be considered liabilities. Dignity, self-esteem, and informed citizenship would elude them, and mother's womb would continue to be a graveyard of equality and social justice.